My name is Tyler Porsche. I'm a field safety technician here with Bayou Chemical and Industrial. We're coming at you with another video. So this is going to be a newer thing that we're trying to start here. Unfortunately, it's getting pretty tough to make it to all 7 facilities. So we're going to go ahead and try and reach you guys like this. So this will be a part of our 52-week training matrix. So we just want to go ahead and welcome you to this training from Bayou Chemical and Industrial again. Here at Bayou Chemical and Industrial, we strive to provide our clients with the best and safest chemical and industrial storage possible. You guys are an important part of that, making sure our customers are happy as well. So we hope you will retain this information and enjoy the presentation to come. A sign-in sheet's going to be emailed out to one of your supervisors, and we would please ask that you go ahead and sign that and have it sent back to us here at the safety department. So today's topic, we're going to talk about dimethylamine. So we're going to get into what the compound exists of, the threshold limits, so like our lower explosive levels, our upper explosive levels, prolonged exposure levels, that kind of thing. We're also going to get into our storage instructions, how it's properly supposed to be stored, any specific precautions that we might have for firefighting and containment, along with any first aid and health effects that would come up with contact with this chemical. So getting into what is dimethylamine. So dimethylamine is both a liquid and a gas, depending on what state it's in. It'll appear colorless, and if we smell it, it'll smell something like fish if it is in lower concentrations, and it'll smell like ammonia in higher concentrations. In addition to that, it's heavier than air, so it's going to tend to pool up on lower surfaces. So if you get down on the ground, there could be pools of it as well that could cause problems for rescue. It is commonly used in solvents and plastics, usually in uncommon everyday items like that. So getting to the specifics, so our threshold limit values would be about 5 parts per million, and then our recommended exposure limit. So once again, we know with our recommended exposure limit, that's going to be what it is recommended exposure for an 8-hour workday, and that's going to be about 10 parts per million. Then we get to our short-term exposure limit, or our steel, which is going to be 15 parts per million. We get to our lower explosive limit, that's going to be about 2.8%, and then our upper explosive limit is going to be about 14.4%. Then we have a flash point of 20 degrees. So this is highly flammable, and it does not take much to set it off. Storage. So here we can see a picture of facility B housing some of our dimethylamine. It's to be stored in sealed vessels, and if it is placed indoors in drums or something of that nature, we need to make sure it's in a cool, well-ventilated area. We need to make sure that no smoking or hot work takes place in those areas as well. They are forbidden in those areas because of its high flammability. In addition to that, we need to make sure we're using non-sparking tools whenever we're working in these areas. So rubber mallets, rubber mauls, no metal hammers or anything like that of that nature. So getting into our hazard marking, so what we should see on the containers, obviously we're going to have our flammability hazard marker here. It's compressed gas in some forms, it's corrosive, and it's an irritant. The irritant, obviously if we inhale it or anything like that, which is going to be your most common mode of entry, inhalation, we are going to get severe respiratory irritation. So we need to make sure we are wearing the proper PPE, breathing protection, which should also be listed on our safety website as well. It's also an environmental hazard. We need to do everything we can to make sure we don't have a leak that could cause severe environmental damage. So when we get into our firefighting precautions, it's high flammability, it burns readily. Like we said, we only have that 20 degrees Fahrenheit flash point. If a fire were to break out in one of the areas that houses this chemical, the alarm should be sounded immediately, and we should report to our muster stations and report to our muster captains. They will take a head count, making sure everybody's there that is supposed to be there, seeing if we have anybody that is missing. The facility ERT will be activated, and they will begin firefighting procedures. And then we will also contact local emergency services to make sure that if we need additional firefighter help or EMS help, they will be on the way. We'll set up triage areas and first aid stations in the designated locations that should be detailed out in your facility's specific emergency response plan. The fire will need to be extinguished with usually a large amount of water, and we should set up surrounding areas, cooling exposures, making sure that there's no way for the fire to spread into further areas. So getting into the health hazards associated with dimethylamine, If it comes into contact with your skin, it can cause severe irritation. And since it is pressurized at that higher up, they usually have the lower temperature, which can give you frostbite if it comes into contact with your skin. So we need to be making sure we're wearing the proper PPE as well as following the proper safety precautions. It can cause severe respiratory irritation. A prolonged exposure can even result in respiratory distress. So once again, consulting the safety management plan, making sure we are wearing proper breathing protection. If it comes into contact with your eyes, we need to go to the nearest eye wash station and flush your eyes for at least 30 minutes. Whenever you pull the lever to start the eye wash, they will go ahead, it will sound the alarm that will alert everyone else. We need to make sure if you're exposed in any way and there was no alarm set, you need to call your immediate supervisor, make sure we sound the alarm, and then we need to make sure the on-site medic is on his way as well. So we can go ahead and decide what medical steps we need to take place after that. So we just want to go ahead and thank you guys for going ahead and participating in this training. Please do not hesitate to let us know how you like this form of training, if it's working out or if we need to try and figure something else out. My email and my phone number will be listed below. We also want to thank you for being an important part of our safety culture here at Bayou Chem and Industrial. So please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any feedback, and we hope to see you again in the next one.